Hello everyone, it's Luna here. I have a few messages that I want to share, reminders, and also, just kind of share what my personal experience has been with interactions of other people, and just want to see how you guys are doing, check in with you guys. Are you guys experiencing similar things? Because we are in a time that is completely chaotic. The energies are just all over the place. I'm sure you guys can feel it and sense. And also, again, if you're experiencing things with other people, I want to hear about it because I literally, right before coming on here, went on social media to share a post. And I have not been on there very much. I just have not been feeling like I want to interact or just be a part of the social media energy and the scene, all that stuff, because I have been sensing that there's just a lot of, people are just not supporting each other. Things are falling apart in different aspects and areas of communities, and I think I talked about it a little bit in the past, or like the last message, that even within the spiritual community, there are a lot of things happening, a lot of things being discovered, revealed, and false people are being brought forward. So there's a lot of tricksters and entities that have been hiding behind these false, just titles and portraying things that they're not. Portraying to be, like shamans, for example, medicine people. And they've been utilizing these titles to for personal gain, or to just make their resume look good. And so that's one aspect of it. But then there's the other aspect of people are in fear, and people rightfully so. And I've been encouraging you guys to go into prayer, and your relationship with Creator is very important. However, there's these people that still are under the presumption or belief that their way of prayer is the only way, the right way. And, that's egotistic. They're still not realizing that all these false ideas and beliefs that their way is the only way is also going to have to be, it's going to crumble away. And I feel that they sense this, so they are attacking other people. And so, as I was saying, right before I got on, I went on social media and I checked my messages, and I have someone reach out to me telling me that, if I was aware, like I would not be aware, right? If I was aware that I was doing witchcraft and that wasn't of God work. And I'm thinking to myself, oh God, here we go. Because it's not the first time that people have, reached out and just had a judgmental comment. And the thing is that it's fine if you don't understand someone and what they do. You might have a little bit of hesitation. But the thing is that if you don't understand, you're not understanding, then please don't go attacking someone, because you really don't have an awareness of what it is that they're actually doing, what their beliefs are, their upbringing. And I've said this before, it's none of our business how someone else has a relationship with Creator and in the way they pray, because it has to do, their culture, and what traditions they were brought into. So this person pretty much kind of attacked me and then blocked me. So I was like, oh my gosh, whatever. I just have to know that they're not in a heart-centered space, and that they are also not realizing that those beliefs, thinking that your way is the only way, is also a way of separating each other, causing that division, that judgment, and again, from a place of fear. And none of those things are of God, love, energy. So it just doesn't make any sense that someone is saying that they are following Christ, the Bible, Jesus, whatever words you want to use, but then they are attacking people and telling them that they are doing things wrong and that they're worshiping other things that are dark. When, if you know me, you know that's completely opposite, completely opposite of what I do and who I am. So, just wanted to see if you guys are also experiencing these things, but also to say, hey, this is a validation to what I was saying, that there's going to be a lot of things being brought up to the surface. A lot of people are scrambling and fear, and also validating that the religion and all that is going to start crumbling, and that's where people are starting to sense that urgency of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do without this? Because that's also a way for them to find something that they're seeking, because they don't have it within. And so when they're finding it outside, that peace or whatever it is, then they're not at peace within themselves, because they're afraid of someone else, whatever they're doing in their personal life. Like, how is that going to, what I do should not affect someone else, especially if I'm not out there preaching or pushing it on anyone. So that's, again, just be mindful of this. This is going to be happening more. And with that in mind, I want to bring some reminders and downloads that I've been receiving as far as, the preparation, reminders of making sure that you are stocked up. And I talk about this quite often because we are moving into that timeline now. It's taken a while to get here, but we're here. As you guys see, everything is pretty much, inflation is out the roof, and gas prices are soaring. The shelves in the stores are, just things are harder to find now, or you have to just get less of it because there's not that much of it. So that's one of the messages: is be mindful of when you go in there, not to hoard things. We want to be mindful of community and making sure we leave enough for other people to also have. However, you do want to make sure that you are storing and preparing, and that might sound a little contradicting. So let me explain a little bit more. So what I'm saying is, don't go into panic, but you have to prepare. So you don't have to go in there kind of like the toilet paper situation when everybody was just hoarding, right? You don't want to do that. You want to be mindful and say each week go and get a few things extra, and do this a little bit at a time. Make sure you have plastic bins where you can store things that will be protected from like the weather, rain and all that stuff. And particularly focus on getting things like grains and things that will last. So lentils, chickpeas, beans, rice, pastas. Those are things that you can have stored, and then the canned stuff to add flavor into your foods and pastas, like tomato cans, spaghetti sauce. You guys can get creative, but then of course your spices and your herbs, because I feel that come 2023, that's when we're really going to come into more of the shortages. I'm not the only one picking this up. There's other people that are also, as I said before, receiving prophetic messages, channeling information, and they are receiving similar messages. And so what I saw recently is that, you know how when there's like a tidal wave, then the water pulls back in, and then eventually comes back out, and then it creates more damage. Well, I'm not trying to scare anybody, because again, we don't want to go into fear, but just to give you the analogy perspective of what I'm saying is that 2023, then the wave will come back out, and then we're going to feel more of like the shelves being cleared, things are not as available. So again, I know I sound like a broken record, but you're going to thank me later. I keep saying, have a backup plan. So if you haven't already looked into the membership, into the family-owned business where you can purchase cleaner products more, and it's not just that. I'm telling you, you want to be prepared. because if you can't go here, then you can go there. And I know there's a lot more people that have signed up and are now members, and they're just preparing. I always say it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So you want to make sure you're prepared and not wait till the last minute, because they are getting pretty busy now, which is a great thing for them. But if you try to hurry up in the last minute, you might just be out of luck, because I have noticed that they have grown in their members, so much so that my orders take a little bit longer to get here, to arrive. Usually I would order, and then the next day it's at my door. And this last time I ordered, and it took like 2 days before I received it, which 2 days is nothing. That's still great, turnaround time for delivery. But what I'm saying is that you want to make sure that you have your ducks lined up in a row. And I keep seeing this over and over. Same thing with your assets, your finances, your money. If you haven't already been investing, you need to start now. And again, you're going to thank me for this later. Look into the other people that are sharing information, that are also guiding the people. They're saying this also over and over. A good person that I like to, again, he's very explosive and very intense, but he brings good information, is Nino Rodriguez, David Nino Rodriguez, and also Mel K. So look them up. If I'm not available, because I'm not bringing information that often anymore, because I just don't see that there's too many of you guys are not interacting with my post. So I know that there's the views are there, but if you're not interacting with my views, or my posts, my videos, then it's just going to let me know that what I'm bringing is not helpful to you guys. So I'm just going to do it less, because it is time consuming. It is my energy. It is my time. So, just at least let me know this is working for you, or if you have questions, comments, interact. This is why I'm bringing these messages, is because I want to make sure that you guys are, you guys are going to be good, and that you are good. But if no one is giving me feedback, then I'm just going to kind of do my thing, because I also know that if you haven't been doing work, like inner work, you need to do that, because it's going to help. It is good. It's helping. I know this because I've been doing this. I retreated from being on social media, and I've been really just focused working on myself, because I'm just like anybody else, where things will come up, throughout time, throughout life. Layers will peel off, and then when I think, I was, pretty grounded or pretty centered, all of a sudden something comes in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to work through this. So I've been working on myself deeply. I've been in a dieta. I've been just looking at all my shadows, and just, clearing house, I'll say it that way, on all levels, within my home space, but also community. I'm focused on building community. And I know that, what message came for myself is that I kept giving of myself, but again, people are not interacting. I was depleting myself. And now I'm choosing to only interact with those who are seeking to interact with me, but also appreciating what I put out, what I offer, because we're in a time now where it is about community, and we need to support each other. I can't just keep supporting the community, but then you guys are just kind of like blah, 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 it doesn't work that. Those are old ways. And so I've been sitting with, just clearing that energy, clearing, everything that had been weighing me down, attachments, people's energy that are just leaching, leaching draining me, I can't do that no more. It's going to have to be a balanced, equal exchange, because again, we're going into community, and different, different communities are being built now. And, it's like people are choosing where they're going. And this includes, from spirituality, knowing that, all is one, and that there is one God that intertwines with everyone's own way of prayer, and that, love is where, freedom is, the people that are of this mind, and understand that they're supposed, there can't be any judgment. It has to be completely acceptance of all people, in how they, live, the choices that they make as far as in their personal lives, as long as, it's good, as long as it's within the, within the realm of not hurting other people. This is, what it is now. It's no more separation. Again, anything that's separating people, like, just this, I don't want to get into it. But if it's separating people, that's just going to fall away now. You can't live under those conditions anymore. It's like we're moving into this new energy, and the only way to do that is to let all those old false belief systems to fall away, and that includes those that we were told were the only way, that are, anybody else is bad, any this, no more. And so, again, make sure that you have things that you need stored. Now, I will add one more thing as far as, once the shelves start clearing, what you can also do, because I know myself, I've gone into the bigger stores and I notice that those are the ones that are really like having more of like the empty shelves and stuff. Start going into the smaller stores. That will be helpful for a period of time. And so, for example, the mom and pop shops, the dollar stores, the carnicerias, which are meat markets, those smaller stores that you find in the corners, or like fruit stands, or the farmers market, you're going to have to start getting more outside of your comfort zone as far as what you're used to doing or where you're used to shopping, and just go into these stores because they still have things, but then that's also not going to last very long. So you are actually receiving something very very beneficial to you if you're watching this, because you have opportunity to go into these places right now and kind of start stocking up. Again, don't hoard. Don't start going in there and cause panic. Just be mindful. It's about helping each other. Also, lastly, what I want to add with in the realms of what I'm talking about is, if you have a garden or you have fruit trees and they're abundant, share it with the community, or go to somebody else that also has something that you might not have, and offer an exchange. Say, hey, I have avocados, can I have some of your oranges? Or and if you don't have something like fruit trees, you can also offer a different kind of exchange. But the idea is to not go into panic and know that there's ways that we can get through this together. That's what I've been doing recently, and let me tell you, it's been amazing. I'm just so full of gratitude that there's been an abundance of fruit coming into our home, because people are willing to help each other. So as long as you're coming in a good way, with a good heart, and also again, a gesture of an offering. If you don't have a whole lot, you can say, hey, here's $5. Can I harvest some of your fruit there? And so I've been kind of going. I'm lucky. I live in a kind of like a little town where there's a lot of things are just like grown around here, a lot of ranches and stuff like that. So I'll stop randomly if I see that there's a tree that has abundance of fruit on it, and I'll say, is it okay if I take a little bit of your pomegranates? And because right now it's pomegranate season, and they're usually very nice, and they say, yeah, sure, just take a few, and that's pretty much what it is. As long as we are being respectful and asking permission, people are willing to help, and that's what I'm saying. If you have, like a box that you can set out in your front yard and, put free, take a couple, this is what I'm saying that we're going to have to do, come together and get through things in this way. And we can, and we will, but again, it's important to interact, support each other. It's not just one way anymore, right? You can't just do one expect everybody to do something and then you not do your part, or you do everything and then have the people that you interact with not help out. It's not going to work. It has never worked, but now people are just going to tolerate it less. And then, yeah, that's about it. So as always, I'm going to leave all the links below. If you have questions, please email me. I'm happy to help you guys. If I forgot anything, I'll also mention it in the comments below, because a lot of times I kind of tend to do that. I'm just like firing away, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to add this. So just always check the box below, because I might add a couple of things that I didn't remember to say here. So yeah, other than that, if you want to continue having a communication relationship with me outside of social media, please, by all means, email me, text me, become part of our community, because that's what it's about. I'm just so excited that, I'm growing the community, and it's with the intention and purpose of, supporting each other and sharing my offerings through the ministry. So I'm still very much active and interacting with people, but just not on social media, because those are not real relationships. Those are just all fake, and I'm kind of got depleted and tired, of having these false relationships through social media. But then outside social media, it's like you can't send a text, you can't pick up a phone and say hello, and I just that doesn't feel right to me. It's about community. So if you want to become part of our community and actually be in physical space, sharing labs, music, ceremonies, classes, workshops, then I, invite you to be part of our community. So till next time, blessings, Blasabati.